How you doing today, folks? And welcome to Red Wolf EDC. Together, let's take a moment and enjoy the madness. Because, being this is a sponsored video, it'd be absolutely mad of me to say something like, this knife is a colossal and genuine dumpster fire. Do not, and I repeat, do not buy this under any circumstances. If you like a pretty mirror polished blade, then maybe, but for any other logical reasons, stay far, far away. That'd be absolute mad, straight up insane bonkers for me to do that on a sponsored video. Who in YouTube does that? Well, I guess I'm going straight to the crazy house because I'm probably not going to make any more money for sponsorships off this video, but I don't really give a fuck. Now, if you'd like to see why I think this knife is an absolute dumpster fire, take a deep breath and stay tuned. The foundation of every knife is the action. At the end of the day, it is a folding knife, and how it goes from folding to deployed means a lot. And the action on this knife is pretty damn bad. I have a very big pet peeve, right? If a flipping knife does not flip, like it's a flipper. Why is this flipper here if it doesn't flip? It just serves no purpose. I will say this knife does have decent thumb deployment. It does come out most of the time. There definitely are times where it just does not seem to want to work, but for the most part it does deploy relatively reliably, and it has a pretty good feel to it. Think of it almost like the CRKT CEO, where you have this little thumb disc thing and you apply pressure and it stays and it stays and then it's out and it's fun. But it's not quite as good as that. And given the CRKT CEO is around a $30 to $40 knife, if your best comparison is that and you're still coming up short, that's kind of a problem. Now, one thing this knife does have going for it is it is a pretty damn interesting design. It is basically a folding katana. And by basically, I mean, not at all, but it kind of looks like that, I guess. It has a tanto blade, which is very much not katana, so why it's called a folded katana is completely beyond me. But history, what does that matter? And it has this carbon fiber and G10 almost looking like a wrap. But the problem with the wrap in this case is very, very deep. And what I mean by that is that the carbon fiber and the G10 have a decent amount separating them, right? And the carbon fiber is not chamfered literally at all. Every single piece you can feel a genuine hot spot. This is one of those knives that I think if you held it hard enough and long enough, it would genuinely cut you. It goes beyond hot spots. It transfers over to full-on pain spots. And I've handled a lot, and I mean a lot of knives over the years, and I can only think of one other one that was a genuine pain spot. And to be clear, that one other knife was a QC issue and it was fixed almost immediately. This knife is designed this way on purpose. We also have a deep carry style clip that is not actually deep carry. In fact, at any one point in time, you will have this much of this knife sticking out of your pocket. So it's deep carry, but not really. So why? Now, why would you go through all that trouble of rounding off the clip, making it into a genuine deep carry clip, and then putting it so far down on the knife is just really beyond me. This just doesn't make any sense at all. Now, there are two positives to this overall very bad review. And those two positives are a mirror polished blade at this price point is basically unheard of. Not unheard of entirely, to be clear, but again, basically. And the next piece is this edge is actually very, very nicely profiled, very sharp, no real issues as far as that. The actual tanto tip is not as sharp, not really sharp at all, to be honest with you. You can get it cut out, but it's not really ideal. But the primary edge itself is definitely sharp. And that's kind of it. Everything else about this knife is either an absolute negative or something that I just don't understand, and I don't understand why they did it. They could have done so many better choices if they chose this, and as a consequence, this is the review they are getting. Their sponsored video, which to be very clear, people do not send things free of charge out of the kindness of their heart, especially not businesses. A sponsored video is a transaction. They want to get my review, my opinion on this whole thing, and then they make more money. They get the word out. The word out on this one, on the K Tactical Folding Katana, is stay far away. If you like the mirror polished blade and you want to never actually touch the knife, then by all means, grab it, put it on the shelf, and go, hey, look at that. I don't need an actual mirror. I can shave in my knife. But the moment you actually hold the knife, you're going to be like, what the hell is this? This is garbage. And it really and truly is. The action is bad. Look at this thing. The design is interesting. I mean, it definitely had potential, right? It could have been very, very cool. The idea of a folding katana is, if nothing else, very interesting. Though, to be clear, this is a Japanese tanto. This is an American tanto. This is what is on an actual folding katana or katana in general. Some bullshit the US of A made up that personally I really, really like, but it's never on a katana. So even at the most basic of levels, they failed on this knife. Now, to be very clear, folks, I really wanted to like this piece. One, getting it free of charge is awesome. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was like, hell yeah. I was very, very flattered. I was like, yes, I will definitely check out your piece. I love knives. Shoot that. And I also love Japanese culture, and I love that whole styling of it. And this guy seemed like he might be a decent person. But as soon as I got it in hand, all of those delusions disappeared, because this knife is honestly, as stated in the thumbnail, the worst folding knife I've ever handled. By far. Avoid this one at all cost, folks. It looks interesting. It's definitely not. The beauty is very much skin deep, and anything involving actual use, this knife is garbage. Now, as always, folks, I love you all. Please take care. Have a great day, and bye-bye.